Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to make some awesome faux planters, a real plant stand, and a riser with some Dollar Tree products, including the Legos here, and then you will see me pull apart some hats and use some of the hearts, the wooden hearts from Dollar Tree, as well as some tomato cages, which is a very popular way to make an easy, inexpensive plant stand. So I hope you enjoy this video. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. So the first planter is the Lego planter. It is a faux one. I'm making it for some teenage boys in my life. And you're going to see me do this project with items from the Dollar Tree, of course. I'm using one of the larger platforms, but you can use the smaller ones if you want little mini ones. And I would just add one succulent in. So I'm taking this base and I'm going to put Legos on the surround. You can go up as high as you want. I only did 3 layers, I believe, and then they had a variety of Lego people that you could choose from as well. So as I'm adding Legos to the base plate, I want you to note that there's some labeling on select Legos in the package. You want to just turn those inside so you do not see them. If you're going to spray paint this to match your decor better, definitely don't worry about the label, but just in case, I would turn it inside. And because these are plastic, I would do a primer coat first with the spray paint and then do the color that you're looking for. It'll make it stand out more, 1, and 2, help it adhere better to the Legos since they are such a shiny plastic. I also think this would make an excellent gift or be a fun project for a parent and their child. Father's Day is coming up, so if you want to appeal to the child at heart in your life, this would be a good project for them as well. The people that I chose are the pirate and the knight. For whatever reason, because of the blue, this looks like a moat. And so I thought the knight was perfect, and of course the pirate if this were to be the ocean or the pool. Although you won't see the blue at the end of this video, or this clip rather. And I did run out of Legos. I used 4 packs of the blue and 5 packs of the gray. And like I said, you can go up as much as you want, but just keep in mind, of course, that increase your costs. But they are $1, and I used every single Lego in the packs. I just had to maneuver them around, just like you do with Legos, right? Just figure out how to get them on there in a straight line. And it also kind of looks like brick, which is the point of Legos. It makes them really cool. So I've added some foam. You can hot glue everything down. Sorry to not mention that earlier, but you can hot glue the Legos down if you want this to be permanent, and I will go back and do that later, but I wanted to get this video done. And you can also hot glue down the foam. It'll stick just fine. Adding your moss on top with a bunch of hot glue, and then I am taking some Dollar Tree succulents and adding them in as well. And I'm just sticking them in the foam in this case. Again, I'm going to say it 1,000 times. Add hot glue, it'll stick just fine. It'll give the piece a bit more longevity. If you're really concerned if this is going in a child's room, definitely use E6000 or a super glue of some sort like Gorilla Glue. And now for the final reveal. I hope you enjoy. And now for the Hat Trick plant pot. Now this project has been on many crafting channels, Pinterest, etc. I think it's just a really smart idea to get some texture to a pot. So the first thing you want to do is take one of those Dollar Tree hats. They are more popular around spring, but I've seen multiple Dollar Trees have them linger over into the summertime. And you just want to split it apart. I'm using some scissors. There's little, I guess, plastic weaving that holds it together, and you can just trim that, and then the hat just comes apart on its own. And anywhere it gets stuck, again, just use your scissors to trim the weaving, to trim the ribbon or the band on the inside as well, and remove that. So as you saw, this bucket was blue and I realized shortly after putting the hat on the bucket that the blue was coming through, and I didn't want that. If you want that, you can leave it blue. I wanted it to be black underneath to go with the aesthetic in my bathroom in this case. So I did take it outside, gave it a quick coat of a matte spray paint. You can use Krylon or Rust-Oleum, both are great. And then you want to take the rope essentially that you made from pulling the hat apart and hot glue it around the entire piece. This didn't take very long. It was really cool and easy, and it's a nice way to add texture and make your bucket look like a real basket. So I used the black and brown hats. I have plenty of rope, I guess we'll call it, left to do other projects. So I really appreciate that there's a lot of leftover material. I'm just putting the black portion around the edging here. And you'll see as I turn this, I made sure to end at the same location on the back of the pot. You're not going to see the whole pot when I do place it down, so I have a place for the backing to go. The hot glue, in my case, I used a high heat gun. You can use a low heat, it'll probably be better. But of course, hot glue was everywhere. You see I'm pulling strings. And some of it came through, so I'm taking scissors and trimming it. And then later on, I do actually take some acrylic paint and just dab it where I see a lot of the hot glue coming through, where it didn't dry super clear, it's a little cloudy. And you can do that as well with the brown. And the bucket on its own with the hat trim around it looks really good, but I wanted to add handles and give it more of that basket appeal. I'm just taking some and braiding it. I do actually end up cutting this in half and then making two. You can use whatever length you desire. I don't have measurements for this. I was just like eyeballing it, I guess you could say, and it worked out for me. And make your braid pretty tight if you can, and then stretch it out. I did tape down the top and the bottom overnight to get it to be straight, because the rope or the hat pieces are so accustomed to being rounded, they were starting to curl, so I needed them to lay a little flatter to create the handles on this basket. So I just hot glued them on. I decided inside the bucket was the best option. And now for the final reveal. I put my plant in a bucket inside the bucket that I made into a basket, and it works perfectly. There's even a little saucer to catch any water. Now for the XO plant stand or riser. So at Dollar Tree I found these heart-shaped hanging decor and the Mind Trick blocks or Mind Teaser blocks, and they're in the crafters section and the blocks are in the toy section or the children's section. So I'm taking the hearts and I am going to stain them. I'm using an ebony stain by Minwax. I think I was going for the deeper deeper brown, just so I wouldn't have to paint the blocks. But of course I grabbed ebony and she's basically black, as she should be. And it worked out better, this color. So I just put it on the front and the back and I wiped off any excess. And you can make this as dark or as light as you want. If you want to keep it natural, it'll go perfectly with the blocks. But I do recommend sanding the blocks if you're going to use them in their original form, just because they are a bit shiny. And if you're going to spray paint them like I did, I just used a matte black and it worked out really well. If you want to stain them to match your stain, again, make sure you sand them. It's a little bit more work, but I would do that first just to ensure they take the stain. So I'm just cutting the brain teaser here, and all the blocks come right off. You just pull on them. Once everything has dried, I am just laying out the blocks on the heart, and I did use one full block and about 10 small little squares from the second brain teaser that I purchased. Just so you know, you definitely want to buy 2 for this project. I took E6000 and glued them down, laid something heavy on it, let it dry, and then put E6000 on the top and again laid something heavy on it. Probably I would give it a couple hours. You don't have to wait 24 hours for this to dry. It will take that long for it to cure. So I would restrain myself from putting a plant on top once you're done. But I just added the heart on top and let it all dry. As you saw, I put my little Hilton Carter book on there. It's pretty heavy. And now I'm adding little feet. I'm just doing 3 of them. And when you're laying your squares in the center, make sure your holes are not showing. I don't know if I showed that part, but I was checking to make sure the holes weren't visible from the outside. And now for the final reveal. This riser is definitely my favorite. She's super cute. And I love it. And then check me out on Instagram, @flutteringthrough is my handle. I use this in another way or show you how to use it differently. And I will be posting that short or video on my Instagram page. And now the tomato cage plant stand. Everyone's seen this or done this, but I thought it was really cool and I just needed something affordable for my she's a split leaf philodendron. Wow, that's a mouthful. So a split leaf philodendron is not a monstera. Allegedly there's a difference. They look exactly the same, but I digress. So what you want to do is take off the bottom of your tomato cage. These might be about $5 to $6 at your local hardware store. I did purchase mine at Aldi for $1.99 when they went on sale. And once you get those off with your wire cutters, it doesn't take long, just a little bit of pressure. I'm going to spray paint mine gold. You can do whatever color suits your style. And this was really easy to paint. I probably gave it a couple of coats just because I wasn't sure if I hit all the metal and I didn't want to touch it while it was wet to turn it around. And it dried really fast. This is by far the easiest project. So now for the final reveal. I'm really excited that I was able to elevate my plants and get them off my kitchen counter for an affordable price range. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!